Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Titlibee and you're watching Titlibee. If you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and like this video. And I make book related videos every week. So today's video is something that is going to be helping for you all who thinks that thick books are a huge commitment and it is hard to get onto this book. And I understand when reading a thick book, it really requires a dedication at times as well as the time as well. So today I'm going to suggest you some books which are under 100 pages. Yes, you heard me right, that the book that I'm talking about today is all under 100 rupees. So these are the books that I bought and read and loved it, and mostly I keep this book when I am really behind in my reading challenge and I pick these books up and read them. So as well as I'm reading a book, also I'm running on my tier list as well as the challenges. So these are the books that you can also read in case you are just beginning to read or just trying to get into this new hobby of reading. So these books are less intimidating because of their size as well as they are very interesting and they're very less time consuming. So these other books like good for everything, as well as if you're really behind in your book reading list and book reading challenge, these books are saviors. So without any further ado, let's get started. When I was starting this list, I wanted to start a very fun book that I read last year, and this book, although it's for children, I think we all can agree a good book does not have any age bar. This is Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman. This is a graphic novel. This is like 113 pages, but I'm counting it as 100 because most of the pages are like painted, like they have so many images in them, and the story is really fun. Like this book are like very stupid stories, but they makes you laugh so hard. So this book something is very good if you're just starting to read or you want a very light read. So this book is perfect, especially for the children as well, and I loved it and I would recommend to go for this one. This is very short book, like well, it's almost in the height of my face, I don't know. So this is a very short read, fun read, go for this one. The next book on my list is The Little Prince. Now this book I have recommended so many times on my videos. If you haven't watched my book recommendation videos, which you should obviously, but if you haven't already, then go and watch them. I have suggested this book so many times. This book is like 113 pages, but again this has so many pictures inside it and so many spaces. And this is very small book, you can see, like this is like not in my hand span even. So this is such a short book. Go and read this one. This doesn't even take time. I finished this book within an hour. So that amazing this book is, and this is a very famous book. So if you are going to read a thin book which is also going to give a very good meaning to you, go for this one. The next book on my list is The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. Now this book is less than 100 pages, like 89 or 90 pages. I'm going to read this book very soon now, and I've been keeping this in my TBR for so long, and I'm going to suggest you to read this one as well. This is a very famous book obviously, and that too by Oscar Wilde. And if you don't know Oscar Wilde, I don't know under which rock you are living. So I would suggest go and read this book. I would be reading too. So in case you want, we all can also buddy read. You can reach me on my Instagram, and I'm going to put the Instagram handle over there. So you can go and follow me. We can also buddy read if you are wanting to read a book with someone. I really like doing buddy read, so that would be really great. So yes, this is a book on my list. Go and read this one. This is actually like properly under 100 pages. The next book on my list is The Clothing of Books by Jhumpa Lahiri. Now this book actually talks about how the covers of a books are made, what goes behind it, and why it is very important that so much thoughts and everything goes behind the cover. Like you cannot just get a book with story something and a cover of something else. Absolutely, like most of us actually buy books because of the pretty covers. So when I read this book, this is like very thin book, and it was very interesting read because I get to know so much, like how and what they put inside a book, like the illustrator or even the publishing company and the say of the author in the making of a book cover. So this was very informative and very short read for me, and I really liked reading this one. The next book on my list is The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest. Now this book is really thin and obviously under 100 pages. This is like properly 99 pages, but I shall make you understand. If you are a new reader, I'm not sure if you're going to like this very much, but if you are somebody who has been reading for so long and your comprehension is good and you like reading complex stories, go for this one. This book is amazing, and this is going to take time, but this will be a worthy read. And if you are like very good and fluent while reading, you can easily get into the story. This story will not going to take you much. Like I took about 3 days for this one, but this was really worth reading. I would suggest this one because this was also under 100 pages. Go ahead. The next book on my list is like the shortest book on my list today, and that book is The Birthday Girl by Murakami. I got this book last year, and when I saw this delivered, I was so disappointed. But nonetheless, the story is amazing. When I read it, I really loved it. This book is about 48 pages, and the story is beautiful. You know, Murakami deals with the magic realism. This story is also with that. The ending is also an open end, so interpretation is up to you. This won't even take you an hour to finish this book. Go for this one. This is the perfect book if you are in case trying to read a good book within like a very short span of time. So this is perfect. The next book on my list is a very famous book and amazing story, and that is Metamorphosis. This is a story of a man who suddenly becomes a bug or one day, and out of his anything, like nothing really happens very significant before that, but the next day he becomes bug and his whole life changes. So this story is very interesting, and this is also under 100 pages. So I would suggest you to go and read this. I read it in one day, and this was amazing. But also if you are a new reader, I don't think this is for you. But if you're reading for a long time and your comprehension is good, you like complex stories, like I said for The Old Man and the Sea, same applies for this one as well. Go read this one. This is amazing story. Like the ending is going to make you think. Like this is one of those thought-provoking books that we all like to read or want, that are very much like accomplished. So Franz Kafka's books are known to be like this kind. So if you're reading Franz Kafka, you should keep that in mind. The next book on my list is The Prophet. Now this is a very famous book, and this is like a very poetic kind of book. So if you are into that kind of book, go for this one. And I bought this and I'm yet to read this, but look at it, so beautifully written and everything, this book. So yes, this is also under 100 pages, and the best part is these are so much like blank spaces and everything, but the writing is very beautiful. So you really want to get into this book with that zoning. Like this is a very beautiful book, and I would suggest to go and read it. Next book on my list is a very famous book, and that is Animal Farm by George Orwell. So when you read it, keep in mind that this is a satire. So the animals and everything also mean something else, and this is a total political book. So when you read it, keep that in mind. Don't think that these animals, why these animals are running away and doing those things inside the farm, outside the farm. So keep that in mind. This is a very thin book. This book is like 95 pages, under 100, but this book is going to take time. Like these are thin books, but the stories are so amazing, like you want to take time and read this one. So yes, this is one such book. Go and read this. This is like one of the famous book I think I have heard. So go and read this one. The next book on my list is a very sweet story, and that is A Blue Umbrella by Ruskin Bond. I read this book as soon as I bought it, and this is like about 58-60 pages, so it is well under 100 pages. The story is so beautiful. So I read it under like 1 hour or even less. I don't properly remember. So that's what happened with this book. This story is so beautiful, so sweet, and so many pictures inside this book as well. So do read this one if you are looking for a very light-hearted story and to read it in a very short period of time. Go for this one. And the last book on my list is again a Ruskin-born book, and that is The Day When Grandfather Tickled the Tiger. So this is a very short story but a fun story. I bought this one because such a beautiful this book is and such beautiful illustration inside it, and this book won't even take you 30 minutes to read. So this is a very fun book, short story, easy story and feel good story. So a book which is under 100 pages, check. Book that's going to take less time, check. And the book that's going to make you feel good, check. So this book is on my list for that reason. Do read this. This is an amazing book. So yes, that was a list of my books under 100 pages. I hope you liked my list, and I hope this will help you to read more as well as make your reading goals finish. So this was just a small suggestion. I would be coming with more book suggestion in my next video where I'll be talking about books under 200 pages. So those are like little thicker books, but the stories are amazing as well. Keep a look on my channel as well as my Insta stories. I keep updating there. So I would be making that video soon with amazing books that are under 200 pages and that are easy to read and finish as well. So yes, that was all for today's video. I hope you all are doing good and stay safe, stay healthy, and during all this pandemic, stay at home, take care of yourself and your mental health as well as your physical health. Read, do something creative, keep yourself busy, because I think we are not going to get any more time at home once this pandemic over. So just cherish this time with your family and with yourself. So yes, that's what I wanted to say. That's all. So I'll see you on my next video. Until then, bye bye.